Here we are under the dash, and right here you can see two wires, an orange one and a pink one. You probably, now that I'm mentioning it, you probably will remember these two wires hanging down back when this was a zombie truck, one of the first videos on this 1028. All right, so I already knew that went to the kickdown switch. And I knew that because the clip was actually still on the switch, and you can see the wires. All right, so this was already disconnected when I got it. But I knew what it went to, and I was going to tend to it at some point. But instead, what I did is I got overly zealous, I suppose, and I tucked all the wires up and inadvertently tucked those up too. And apparently they were not touching each other at the time, but I must have hit a bump or something at some point, and those two little buggers there ended up touching each other. Here's the orange one. This goes back to the actual kickdown solenoid on the transmission, which I've disconnected at that end right now. And this pink one here, that goes to ignition switched, unfused 12 volt power. All right, so that's, right now if I test that, that should have nothing. When I turn on the truck, that should have 12. All right, and it does. Okay, I've already tested it with the old faithful power probe, and I can tell you right now that the pink wire is doing what it should. It's off right now. When it's running, I get my 12 volts. So to make the kickdown solenoid work, all I would have to do is touch these two wires together. When I do that, solenoid should kick and this transmission should kick down, which is what happened to me. Stuck me in kickdown. And of course, these were hidden under my dash. Just totally slipped my mind. And I went through every other troubleshooting option first. That was in my last video, and if you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. So this switch would have been the very first thing that you should do when troubleshooting. Transmission, a TH400 that's stuck in first gear. Right here, start here. Rather than stick these together all the time, instead we use a switch, and that switch can be found on your gas pedal right there. It's held on with one little screw. I actually have a new switch, and what I'm going to have to do is go ahead and get this wired back together nicely, give it a little slack, and I'll put a new switch in, show you that real quick, and we'll see if that gives me kickdown and if everything is hunky-dory. Alright, that's all done. My favorite things, those little heat shrink connectors, and we're good to go. I'm not worried about matching colors. I mean, I'd like you to know that that's hot when ignition is on, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to a switch. It's why is it together or why is it not together. So speaking of switches, let's go ahead and pull that old switch out and put the new one in. All that's happening here is, here's my gas pedal. Go up, and here is the switch. And as you can see, the switch just works like this. It's held on with one little screw. We're going to pop that out. I'm going to get the switch out of here. And what's happening is when you press this gas pedal hard, you're going to see that that lever comes down and pushes that switch. There's your kickdown. Very simple design. So let's get that out of there and just swap that out. All right, there's the old switch out of there. And I can check it for continuity and see what's happening with it if I want, but I don't care to because I have a brand spanking new one right there. And the part number will be in the description. So let's go ahead and swap it out. If you can find your 10mm socket, that's what you're going to need to get this little screw out. And there you go. New switch is in. Connectors repaired. Wires are tied up properly. And alright, we're underneath driver's side. On the front of the transmission, you'll see there's my wire that I disconnected when I originally found the issue. I'm going to go ahead and plug that back in. Alright, from this angle, you should be able to at least see that spade that I'm going to plug it on. That is your electric kickdown solenoid. Alright, I'm going to need a good clear stretch of road here. And we'll test this kickdown. If the switch is good, we're good. If not, we'll look at that solenoid. I'm pretty